Welcome back, everybody, for our continuation of the Tomb of Annihilation story, Part 3, Beneath the Surface. It's the second day in Port Nyanzaru. The adventurers have spent the day earning money from quick jobs and helping out those who need it. In the latter half of the day, they decide to follow their own errands, so they go their separate ways. Finding out more about the death curse might tie them all together, but regardless, they still have their own private interests and inquiries to make whilst in the city. The Zentarim headquarters, where the party just were, was in Tiriki Anchorage, southeast of the city. Whilst there, Bumble decides to stick around and visits the Dinosaur pens. A large pen where dinosaurs of varying shapes and sizes are raised, trained, and sold. Bumble meets Ifan Tauroa, the merchant prince of animal trade. He tells her all about the dinosaurs she can purchase as a pet or as a mount. Bumble heavily considers getting herself a Triceratops to parade around on. However, the price is a little steep at present. She then proceeds west to the Old City. Here, 3 ancient vine-covered ziggurats tower above this crumbling ward. The whole district is a juxtaposition of ancient and decaying, but still occupied, stone structures interspersed with flimsy new huts and longhouses of bamboo and hatch. The old city is run down, but it isn't a slum nor a haven for thieves. Most of the residents are lower-class labourers or struggling artisans who can't afford the higher rents of homes inside the city walls. The 2 largest ziggurats are known as the Beggar Palaces. Shops and tenements of bamboo are jammed onto the terraces of the ziggurats in wild profusion. Bumble was told that this is the place to find off-the-market goods. She meets with a hooded man who goes by the name Shady Sam, who takes her to a secret room inside one of the ziggurats where his illicit wares are on sale. Bumble buys and sells some poisons and makes a deal to return more to Shady Sam should she find some out in the jungle. Next on our list is Ars, who travels to the north of the city to visit the Mage's Guild. The guild is unassuming from the outset, an aspired roof building, looking a little more modern than most of its surroundings. But inside, symbols and glyphs line the walls, streaks of colour fall in from stained glass windows, and magic items of all calibers line the walls and shelves. He speaks with the receptionist, Vladimir Thrond, to ask about any work and about their mission concerning the death curse. Vladimir does not know anything about the death curse, but he does recall a few days prior that a suspicious group of bald, robed individuals came in asking about it. He does have some work for Ars too. A few weeks prior, an ex-practitioner of the Mage's Guild by the name of Teo Dekanos, in a fit of madness, attacked some fellow colleagues, stole some magic items, and fled into the jungle. Some writings of his had been found detailing a hidden power beneath the ruined city of Mesro. It is likely that that is where he has gone. The guild wants the stolen items retrieved and Dekanos to be removed. Ars agrees to it and purchases some trinkets whilst there. Revna, like Bumble, also travelled up to the old city. He wanted to take some time in silent meditation. He saw some caged beasts set aside for executioner's run. Using his druidic magic, he conversed with them, as well as some snakes hanging from the trees nearby. They warn him of the dangers of the jungle, how it will not be like the jungles of his upbringing. They say that the undead menace is around every corner. Sometimes they even attack the city. Revna steps out towards the jungle, just to get a better look, wherein he spots a series of red eyes staring back at him from the darkness of the trees. He decides not to go any further. Whilst here, he also hears the call from a fellow man, evidently a druid, also basking in the natural tranquility of the place. He introduces himself as Kawasha, one of the wilderness guides here in the port, and he is also a member of the Emerald Enclave. The Emerald Enclave is a worldwide organization consisting of druids centered on the preservation of the natural world. Kawasha would love to join the party as their guide and promises them reduced fees if they promise to help him in the Enclave's chief interest, eliminating the undead found within the jungle. Meanwhile, Bori does not stray far. He stays in the Thundering Lizard Inn, talking with folk, learning more about the lands and its people, and hearing more bizarre rumours about what can be found here in the jungles. Most notably, he meets a one-armed dwarf drinking at the bar. The dwarf introduces himself as Hugh Hackingstone. Hugh works as a wilderness guide too, and is looking for new company to take into the jungle. He knows nothing about the death curse, but he does know where riches can be found. He tells the story about how 3 years ago he was part of a dwarven expedition to reopen Wormheart Mine on the southern end of Chult. It turned out that a red dragon had made the mine its lair, and the company was killed, Hugh barely escaping with his life and with one fewer arm. He wants to take revenge and promises that the dragon will hold a sizable hoard. After a brief shopping trip, Teffis follows up on Merchant Prince Keothi's invitation to her villa. Like the others, the villa of this merchant prince is a fortress. However, Keothi fills hers with strong perfumes and bowls of fresh fruit. An abundance of oil lamps and braziers are kept lit throughout the place too. When he arrives, he is met by Keothi's 2 beautiful consorts, Ixis and Indar, who escort him round to the back of the villa. A door leads down into the cellar and, although hesitant, Teffis follows. A set of stairs descends into a chamber. Fires burn, illuminating the whole place. Strange symbols line the walls, and charred remains hang from among them. Strapped to an apparatus lies the recently deceased body of a Chultan man. He seems to have been sacrificially put to the flame, and an empty apparatus sits next to it. Keothi is waiting here for him. She wants him to be restrained in the empty apparatus, but he naturally refuses. Ixis' eyes flash, and all of a sudden, Teffis complies. Strapping himself to the chair, Keothi tells him that she is a loyal servant of the fire god Korsuth. She senses the rage within Teffis and promises that Korsuth will help fuel that fire within him. She wants him to fetch something for her during his trip into the jungle, a ring that allows the wearer to control fire elementals. It is in the possession of creatures known as Grung. If he does this, he will be rewarded with great power. But Teffis refuses, not wanting to make agreements with evil gods. Keothi lets him go, not wanting to waste a potential ally, but only on the pretense that he must not speak of this encounter. To ensure this, she has Ixis take control of his mind again. Before he knows it, Teffis is standing on a bridge in the upper city, having just hurled the corpse of the deceased man from the chamber into the waters below. He has no recollection of doing this. He is torn on what to do. If he breaks his silence, they'll have him killed. Even the hot-headed Teffis knows that this is power he should not mess with. Dawn breaks on the 3rd day of their stay in Port Nyanzaru, and this day begins with a call to arms. Bumble, Bori, and Revna have their fights at the Colosseum this morning. They prepare themselves and set out. The stone arena is a momentous sight. Statues of the greatest champions line the top of the Colosseum walls, including one of the city's current merchant princes, Ikiniafa. All kinds of competitions are held here, but the party members are here for a beast fight. The 3 of them enter the arena and have to battle a large Allosaurus and 2 Velociraptors. The battle is bloody, as the beasts are far stronger than the kinds they usually face in the mainland. Bori runs in head first, his maul in hand, Revna sticking to the back, favouring his bow and magic stones for ranged assaults, and Bumble resorts to using her wild-shaped power to transform herself into a dinosaur too, and faces them down, tooth and claw. They emerge victorious, to rapturous applause from the crowd. The celebrations, however, do not last long, as the arena cage opens and a voice booms out. "You are the one who took control of my mind, took my money! I will break you into pieces!" Taban enters the arena, flanked by a loyal group of thugs. It was just yesterday that Bumble had charmed Taban, the citywide famous gladiator, into giving them 500 gold pieces. All that after Teffis had attacked him outright in the street. Needless to say, he's here for some much-needed payback. Thank you ever so much for making it to the end of the video. Please consider leaving a like, a subscribe, a comment, sharing it around. Every little helps, and all of that helps in keeping this little project on its feet and getting other parts out. Coming up next time, the culmination of everything that's been building up these first 3 parts finally comes to a head. We find the end of what happens with Taban in the Colosseum, the result of Executioner's run, and of course the dinosaur race, as well as the party finally getting some answers. Another huge thank you to Theo Bimson for his music. He's currently putting together a playlist, an album for Tomb of Annihilation, whether you need jungle-based ambience or tropical environment music, all good stuff. More updates on that as and when it comes. Lastly, keep the love and support coming. I'm really enjoying putting these videos together at the moment, and I don't plan on stopping anytime too soon. So have a wonderful week, look after yourselves, and I'll be seeing you in part 4.